Here's Prescott, just throws it deep as far as his arm can take him. He caught it!
Micah Parsons on the move. Micah Parsons is in! Welcome to the big show, Tony Pollard.
Oh, going deep, it is intercepted.
But I'm not going to say a word, but I will say one thing right now.
Prescott, touchdown. Good protection, and the pass wide open. Touchdown, Lamb.
Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. It's Space Cowboy here with another video for you guys here today. And we got to talk about the ongoing battle at the wide receiver position. We know that the Dallas Cowboys have a ton of guys in that room, and we're going to see who is behind the trio of CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, and Brandin Cooks. Now, before we go any further into this video, if you guys could do me a favor and hit the like button, that'd be greatly appreciated as it shows support for the channel and fight against the YouTube algorithm. Also, subscribe if you're new, and hit that notification bell as well. Now, we don't really have to go too much into the starting three at wide receiver. As mentioned, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, and Brandin Cooks have pretty much been solidified at those spots just by default of the money they're getting, number one. But number two, they're really the most talented guys on the roster. That's, pretty much it. But after that, there's question marks, right? Because we know with last year, the Dallas Cowboys really struggled at the wide receiver position, and it led to the offense not being as good as it really should have been, and it led to certain situational things where it led to tipped interceptions, but that's besides the point. We have a battle ongoing for wide receiver 4, but it looks like Jalen Tolbert has really taken the mantle and ran with it. And he's been making plays all around, and that's something we've been looking for. And now that Tolbert is going to be in an offense where I think it's going to be more predicated for a young guy like him, I think he's going to ease into that as well. But I still think regardless of performance, he was going to be wide receiver 4. The Cowboys spent a third-round pick on him. They want to see if he can pan out. So I think he's locked in at wide receiver 4. Where things get interesting is 5 and below. I think the big thing is we were kind of seeing, can Simi really step up? And he's been hit or miss through the training camp, tipped interception, and then on top of that, you go into the things where he's dropping passes, but he's been making some plays as well. A guy that I am very much interested in is Jalen Moreno-Cropper. I'm going to just call him JMC for short to make it easier. And this guy, as an undrafted free agent rookie, has been making a ton of plays and making a name for himself. And the reason that's important is because you look who else is in the room right now. You do have a Kevontae Turpin, who was out of camp because I believe he was having a newborn child. So congratulations to him. So that's why he's been out. And having these conversations, we don't know how many receivers the Cowboys are going to hold because it looks like the Cowboys are trying to integrate Turpin into the offense a little bit. So, assuming they hold 6 guys, including Turpin in that 6, there's one more wide receiver spot. And so you go through the names like Jalen Brooks, the guy they took at the tail end of the 2023 NFL draft. You have Dontario Drummond. You also have David Durden. And then you have guys like Dennis Houston, Tyron Johnson, and company. And so you have this battle that's ongoing. And so every snap counts. And so for me, in terms of what's been said and what's been going on, I would not be shocked if a guy like JMC makes a push similar to how Dennis Houston did last year. And so that leads us to ask, okay, well, does that mean Simi's done? Is that a bad thing? No, I think that he's still in a running to where if he just does enough, he'll be fine. But here's where I think things get interesting. The Cowboys were in a situation last year where they basically were asking for anybody to contribute. So that's why you had guys like Simi, Fehoko make the team. Also why you had a guy like Dennis Houston make the roster. And you saw how much of a disaster that was. But that's not faulting these guys. I think that they're talented individuals. It's just those guys I don't think are meant to be wide receiver 2s and 3s. I think they're meant to be like the Cedric Wilson types of guys that we saw when he was here. A guy that can come in, be productive when he's given the time to shine, and that's it. And I think that's where we're looking for, because we don't want to be in a situation like last season, once again, where you basically are praying to God that CeeDee Lamb doesn't get hurt. And I think the Cowboys have done, enough for them to be positioned there. Now, is there a possibility that someone else steps up? Now, maybe. I think that we're very early on. I think that the preseason will tell a lot. But if I had to put my money on it right now, I would say that JMC is the leading dude to get that wide receiver 5 spot. And if he doesn't get there, he'll most likely be on the practice squad. So I'm really happy that there's a lot of competition ongoing at camp, and we're not like defaulting like, all right, guys, that's who we got. Which you could be saying, well, Space, don't we default at where we got Cooks, Lamb, and Gallup? Kinda. But those are talented dudes. And you have also talented dudes that can fill that 4 to 5 spot. And I think that sometimes Cowboys fans overrate these dudes, but that's just my opinion. So with that being said, guys, that's what I got to report there. Tell me what you guys think. I'm really liking what I'm seeing. Is there other guys that we should keep an eye out on? By all means, tell me down below. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a good one, guys. Goodbye.